Right, we all know that it is hot as hell, as they say, and everything around us seems to be burning down. Our skin feels it, the temperatures are soaring. In Delhi, it's dry. In Mumbai and other parts, it gets really, really humid, as I'm just realizing here these days. So how do you take care of your skin in this summer? Let's dedicate a few minutes on that.
What complicates the whole situation is there are different skin types that obviously have different needs. You have normal skin, dry skin, combination skin. Obviously, it's first important to understand what your skin type is, what the season is, and how your skin needs to be in tune with it, how your gut can respond differently. All of this is important right now to get you the breakdown. We have Dr. Agni Kumar Bose with us. He's a dermatologist. He's with us on the show right now. Agni, we're starting you off with just the most basic question. Tell our audiences, how do you understand your skin type? And is that breakdown, normal, oily combination, the correct way to go, or is there more?
Okay, so good morning, Toya. Good morning, Sonal. And thank you so much for having me. And so I'll answer your question with most of the people in this world fall under the combination skin type. Okay. So it's a spectrum like this. Combination is in the middle. Oily skin is on one side and dry skin is on one side. In our teenage years, most of us invariably have oily skin. At our age, most of us have combination skin, and then we start progressing towards the dry spectrum. And post 40, post 50, post menopause, we all end up, and post andropause, we all end up going towards the dry skin spectrum. So the best way to identify would be to go to a dermatologist. But if you don't have access to one, the rule of thumb would be if you're in your 30s, 40s, you're in the combination skin type. And because of that, it's very important because certain products work well for certain skin types. It's not a one size fits all. So we need to be wary of that.
Right. Okay. But Dr. Agni, tell me this. You know, you're right that everybody has a very unique skin and thus a very unique treatment needs to be given to them. But if there were, say, the top 5 mantras one could really swear by, what would those be?
Okay, so when most of my patients ask me, Dr. Agni, tell me one thing, that one hack which will change our skin, tell me that one product that should apply to my skin to make it glow. I tell them skincare doesn't start from outside, skincare starts from inside. Okay, so because everything in your body is connected, your skin is the largest organ of the body. So whatever you eat, whatever you drink, whatever you inhale, everything shows on your skin. You cannot run a Ferrari car on CNG and expect it to give you good speed. Okay, so you need to, what I tell all my patients is, number one, I start with eat the rainbow, which means you eat foods of as many different colors as you can: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Automatically, you end up getting all your antioxidants, all your micronutrients, all your trace elements, everything. You never need to take a supplement if your diet is proper. You need to drink adequate water. You need to sleep well. They don't call it 8 hours of beauty sleep just like that. So we need to get our adequate rest. And of course, this is something which all of us lack in, and we really try level best, but we try to exercise. Because that exercise, it flushes away a lot of the toxins, it releases, it decreases your stress levels, it actually makes your skin glow. Okay. But if you ask me what is that one thing, one ingredient, I would say sunscreen. Because sunscreen is what will stop your external signs of aging. Not stop, it will delay it, it will retard it, your external signs of aging. Your intrinsic aging is something nobody can change. That is what your chronological age is. But externally, the number one cause of aging is sun damage. So sunscreen in adequate quantity is what I would tell my patients.
Doctor, can you tell us?
So that's a good point.
Yeah. No, do go ahead, Sonal. You're right.
No, go ahead.
Because your point is that, sunscreen is the important thing to use. But that brings us to this question of sometimes when we put sunscreen on, Doctor, at least I feel it has a toxic feel to it. I don't know if that's the right, the fair phrasing, but it feels heavy. Sometimes it leaves a weird taste if it by mistake gets in, around your lip area. I just want to ask, I know a lot of people say that natural is the way to go. Coconut oil is, for example, what a friend uses. She slathers herself with coconut oil every time she steps out. Anything in the natural department for those who want to stay away from that heavy chemical feeling.
Fair enough. So basically what you're experiencing is one of the most common complaints that a lot of our patients come back to us with, that the sunscreen feels too heavy, or as they say it, bahut chip lagta hai, because it feels very, very heavy on the skin. It feels unnatural. And that's because you're using a cream based product, which probably doesn't suit your skin. What you need to be using is more of a gel based product, more of a liquid fluid based product. So the product itself is wrong. So sunscreens are for different skin types. I mean, I would recommend that you first change your sunscreen. But going towards the natural route, and you spoke about your friend lathering a lot of coconut oil, and your friend can get away with it because your friend has dry skin. Because if your friend did not have dry skin and your friend was lathering coconut oil all over their face and their bodies, they would get beautiful pimples because it would clog their pores and they would get breakouts. So again, I wouldn't recommend coconut oil as a form of sun protection. But if you had to go the natural way, then number one is physical sun protection, where you physically cover yourself with a hat, with a large brimmed hat, with a scarf, with an umbrella. You wear. So if you look at a lot of the traditional clothing across the globe in societies which have heavy sun exposure, you'll realize that their attire is also proportional to how much sun exposure they have. So one would assume that if I live in a desert, I shouldn't wear anything. I should roam around shirtless. No, on the contrary, people who live in deserts, you'll notice they wear a headband. I mean, they wear a headgear. They wear loose white cloth.
Yeah.
So it's because the loose clothing traps the air inside and it helps insulate you. So that's your traditional method of sun protection. Then there's one more thing which you could do is you could incorporate oral sunscreens, which also are found in our diet. You don't have to take oral sunscreen tablets because which are there in the market, but oral sunscreen tablets are literally nothing but antioxidants. So your astaxanthin, which is found in a lot of your green leafy vegetables, in seafood, lutein, which is found in tomatoes, lycopene, which is also found in tomatoes and apples. So basically, you also eat a lot of foods which contain antioxidants, and that works like a natural oral sunscreen.
Yeah, that's a good point on eating. I've never had anybody address him as natural or eating your sun protection over there. So that's an interesting one. But Dr. Agni, very quickly, I want to understand, since we are on the topic of summer and you said exercise is so important. But the fact is, if you go out and exercise in this heat, I don't know if you're doing more damage to your skin. And so could you tell us some hacks on, especially for kids? Summer holidays are here. Kids want to be out playing or want to be out in the pool all the time. You know what chlorine and sun and that combination can really do to them. There are athletes who still want to go, or fit people who still want to go out and play. Any hacks for them?
Okay, so slight change here. The problem is not the heat, the problem is the sun. Because the heat will also be there at night, okay? Because we all live in concrete jungles, the buildings absorb so much heat, so heat will also be there at night. Heat is not your enemy, sunlight is. So if you want to play sports, if you want to run before sunrise. Or, if you want good skin at the same time, most runners, they start their run by 5:36 in the morning when the sun is not out. And they end up running till about 7:38. Most of them do not use sunscreen. Why? Because we are leaving the house when it's still dark. Who needs sunscreen? But what they don't realize is by the time they finish their run, it's peak sunlight hours. So for runners, for athletes who are on dry ground, please use sunscreen properly. Now, what is the actual ratio? The actual ratio is 2 fingers full of sunscreen for the face and the neck. And you can accordingly do the math and use it for the rest of the body, right? Now, this is your ideal situation. This is what we learned in school, Adarsh Balak, in the 90s, that this is what an ideal situation is. And ideally, one is supposed to reapply it every 4 hours. Most of us are guilty of not doing that. So I can give you that concession. But at least 2 fingers full of sunscreen on the face and the neck before you leave the house in the morning for athletes who are running. Now, if you're a swimmer and you spoke about chlorinated water. So kids and chlorinated water. So look for a sunscreen, look for the label, read the label properly. It should have either water resistant or water repellent written on it. If a sunscreen is water resistant or water repellent, they will have to specify it, because water resistant means that water repellent means it provides you protection for 2 hours in water, and water resistant means that it provides you protection for 4 hours in water. So just read the label properly. And for children, as per the guidelines, sunscreen is not really recommended for a child less than 6 months of age. We don't really have sufficient studies. And anyway, a child less than 6 months of age will be swaddled by the parents, will be properly protected, will be properly covered. You don't see 6 months old baby scrolling without any adult supervision. So keep the child indoors, and until and unless the child has a photosensitive dermatological disorder, maybe like xeroderma pigmentosum, Bloom syndrome, childhood lupus erythematosus, in that case where they actually need sun protection like sunscreen, let the children be children. It's you can,
So, okay, Dr.
it's okay. They'll
Bose,
just
Dr. Bose,
Okay,
thank you.
okay.
You've given us so many different takeaways, right from you can actually eat your sunscreen in a manner with antioxidants to the right kind of
Yes, you
sunscreen to put on, the 2 fingers. We'll always remember that. Thank you, Dr. Agni Bose, for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so that was Dr. Bose, and that was all about skincare. But ladies, we know another pain point when it comes to the summer, which is your makeup. So we thought we'll bring you the person whose hands have been creating magic, not just on celebrities, but somebody even getting all your bridal dreams come true. The country's best known makeup artist, Namrata Soni, is here with us in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning,
How are you
Sonal.
doing today?
Very well. Thank you for having me, Sonal and Toya.
Yeah, so Namrata, you just heard the dermat over there,
Yes.
right? So the doctor talked about the importance of getting the right things. But when it comes to makeup, the one thing that always troubles people today is that there are just so many options out there. We live in an Instagram world where there are so many brands that pop up and they are, crying for your attention. What is the process, or how do you choose the right brand for your skin?
Okay, so what I would say is first figure out the kind of makeup you like. Do you want to be someone who wants vegan, clean, organic? That plays a very important role in the kind of makeup you want to put on your skin. There are brands today that do all of them. And what's important is that use non-comedogenic products, something that's not going to make your skin break out, something that's not going to clog your pores. We live, like you said, in India, which is extremely hot, dry heat and humid heat. And that means your skin is going to get completely clogged up. So again, more than just using the right products, also removing your makeup at the end of the day is of the utmost importance. We get so lazy when we go back home that we don't do it. So remember your cleansing routine along with good quality products. I would say invest in good quality products. So if I'm talking about brands, I would say some of my favorites would be like Bobbi Brown, it would be Estee Lauder, it would be NARS, it would be Simply Nam, it would be, there are tons again. Just do your research on what you want to put
You have
on
to
your
see
face.
what suits your skin. So there's no one size fit all again.
No,
in that
it never
approach.
can be.
Yeah. Toya has a question.
Yeah,
for you,
Namrata, can you also tell us, you talked right now about clean, vegan, organic. These have become buzzwords, especially over the last few years. I know sometimes there'll actually be like the little 2-leaf symbol behind some products. Can you just tell us the difference between clean and organic, for example? And as a good starting point, if the data is overwhelming us, what's a good starting point?
So I think what you need to understand is the difference between the three. So if you are someone who wants vegan is something that is not tested on animals. It has no animal or animal byproducts in the ingredients. And you should be looking out for ingredients such as organic argan oil, organic jojoba oil, squalene, niacinamide. These are beautiful ingredients that you should look out for in your color cosmetics today, especially because color cosmetics and skincare is infused in everything that you do. So I love that. And then if you're looking out for, say, organic, that's basically non-toxic. There is no kind of pesticides or herbicides that have been used to cultivate those ingredients that you are putting in your color cosmetics and which is eventually going on your skin. And then of course you have clean beauty, which is non-toxic. Clean beauty can also be derived from a little bit of synthetic ingredients which are lab grown and of course which are absolutely natural. So the line is really blurry, so definitely read up on the brand that you want to put on your face and what kind of certifications they have on their website and how transparent they are being with what ingredients they're putting on their website.
Reading the labels is like the mantra for the year, from food to cosmetics to everything else as well. But how can we have Namrata in the studio and not make her, run her magic. So we thought we'll put Namrata through a quick challenge. Are you ready for that, Namrata?
Very excited.
Okay, so we've got, yeah, let's move to that station there. So what we'll get Namrata to do now is a quick demo. We've got Shagun here and Ishita. Hi, good morning. Now, Shagun and Ishita, both very hardworking producers with the network, but they woke up early in the morning because they wanted to understand how this is going to work. So, Namrata, the challenge is that you work with celebrities who have great skin and you have hours to sort of make it work with them. But these girls have only 5 minutes, morning or day. So, if you had 5 minutes to just oof up their face, how would you do it? And a twist to the story over there is if I only gave you 3 products.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to do day and night? You want to run like that? Okay, so are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, should we start the timer then? Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my God. Okay. So I always start with a lovely blush. I think a blush.
We'll just wait for those visuals to come in. Those are visuals coming in, and Namrata will be doing that challenge for us in just a few minutes. Remember, the challenge with getting your makeup right in the summertime obviously is it can sweat off. So setting it in the correct way, using the right products. So do you want to go for a skin tint that is thinner, a foundation that is much thicker? But remember, the downside with something like a skin tint, which we talked about earlier, is that it can melt away, even though it gives you that translucent look that is so much in the trend these days. On the other side, you have something thicker like a foundation. The problem with foundation in the sweatier moments of the summer is it can of course clump up. So you might have seen this happen to you if you're a woman who wears makeup. A few hours in, you actually have your foundation clumping up in different areas. So we have Namrata Soni, as you can see, joining us in the Mumbai studio. She's telling us the pointers of how to identify a clean product. And the tricky thing with all of this is, of course, that ingredient products can sound quite complicated. You know this if you're a woman or a man who's gone out there, you've looked at a product, a makeup product in particular, you want to use a foundation, and you're immediately met with a bunch of ingredients that sound much, much more complicated. So what can you look on? Number one, as you can see, you can focus on safety. So any kind of product that advertises itself for consumers in a safe way, that's something to look out for. As Namrata did for us earlier, there are products that she's actually named for us. So Bobbi Brown, for example, NARS, for example, these are safer cosmetic brands. These are brands that you can go ahead and trust. She also talked about ingredients. So for example, squalene, other plant protein types. These are ingredients that you can actually look for in your makeup and cosmetics. Let's go over back to Mumbai, where Namrata, remember, is joining us with that very interesting challenge. In 5 minutes, only 3 products, daytime and nighttime look. Let's take a look.
Okay, we promise we weren't cheating in the time that we tossed back to Toya. We were doing some other kind of fixing some technical glitches over there, but it's time to fix the face now. So Namrata, 5 minutes start now.
Okay. So if you are someone who, like we were talking about, you sweat a lot and we live in a country where it's so hot and humid. So I love using powder blushes in the daytime because it just allows your skin to look fresh, but at the same time it just sets your makeup really well. So I love using a palette which has 2 colors. I always use a blush brush. Give me a small little smile. Outer apples of the cheek going high into the cheekbones will lift your face. It will give you a lovely chisel look and it just looks fabulous through the day. So I love doing this. I mix 2 colors always. So basically guideline is right above your cheekbones, keep your brush right there and just right there outer apples of the cheek. Yeah. And
there's a whole debate on where the blush should be put.
So actually, honestly speaking, it depends on what kind of lift you want on your face. So if you have a very skinny face, go into the apples of your cheek. Okay. If you have a slightly larger face but you want to lift to your face, go in high cheekbones, outer apples of the cheek.
Angular.
Make it angular. Go into where you would do your contour, and it works brilliantly. What I also love to do in the day.
Product number 1 is done.
This is the same product I'm using on the eyes now.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to add a lovely, beautiful pinky glow to the eyes for the day. It's great because, you also land up feeling a little dull and tired, especially after a long, morning.
Yeah.
So I always take the same, like a beautiful peachy glow on the eyelids. and
this is
it
a
works.
two-in-one
It's
product.
a two-in-one product that works brilliantly.
Ishita is smiling on that one.
She has such a lovely eye color. So the pink and the gold in it will actually make it pop and look very pretty.
Nice.
Okay, so I love doing that when I'm working in,
So we are on the timer, about 40 seconds left.
Okay, and I'm going to finish this off with a lovely lip tint. I love a lip tint because it just allows your lips to breathe. At the same time, it's a pH infused lip oil which adds a lovely color. It basically takes the unique chemistry of your skin and it allows your lips to get as pink as you would want it to. So that's what I love about, tinted lip oils, tinted balms.
So,
and for
Sonal,
me,
just tell us what
that
are the three
is
products
perfect for the day.
for this look.
So just two actually.
Yeah.
So I've just done it with two products. That's a blush palette with two colors in it and a tinted lip oil. And of course, if you want a little glow, you can even add it on your skin.
Oh, not bad. And one second, I stand corrected over here. There's still about 2 minutes 40 left and we are done. Ishita, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling lovely. I look lovely.
Nice. So it's time to reset the clock. You've outdone yourself, Namrata.
I mean, if you give me more time, I'll put more products. But that's normal.
Okay, but let's move to a nighttime routine
Yes.
now, okay?
Okay.
So I know Shagun will be like, I'm called to office so early in the morning, and what if I want to go and have a good time in the evening? What do I carry in my purse so I can go from a daytime look to a nighttime look and do that quickly?
Okay, so for the night, what I love is that little balmy glow on the skin, which normally you try and avoid in the day. So I go in for a cream blush. Again, you can use it with your fingertips, you can use it with a blush brush. Again, for her, outer apples of the cheek, going high up into your cheekbones. It's a very dewy, beautiful formulation. I love that about creams and liquids because it just allows your skin to look like you're glowing and you've just done hot yoga and you've come out and you look like amazing.
In Bombay, you don't need that.
You don't need that.
You just put any blush, it'll become dewy in like half an hour. That's the weather.
That's the weather. But I think at night you still end up going to like places which have a lot of air conditioning. In the day you still need something that you don't have to keep touching up. But at night this works
So how do you choose
brilliantly.
the right color for your face?
I think you need to understand what your undertones are. Undertones play a huge important role. But things like peachy pinks, lovely tangerine colors, lovely berry colors, they work brilliantly on most skin tones in India. Another thing I like to do is I use the same thing on the lip to give me a little bit of color. And this works again. It's a beautiful
So
tint.
2-in-1 has become 3-in-1 now.
Yeah. And so this becomes just a lovely shade on the lips. And I just love the way, tinted balms and tinted blush-ons look on the skin. You can actually see it really brightens that up.
Yeah.
And that's product number 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go in with a little bit of a kajal pencil. I love a bronze
night
pencil for
drama.
the night.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make her look up and I'm going to go underneath the bottom waterline.
It's a bronze.
It's a bronze. I love bronze. I think that it just is so soft. And of course, there are a lot of people who don't like black or don't like dark colors. So again, I've got a smudger on the other side. So I'm just going to go in and just diffuse the edges of the product. And of course, depending on how much intensity you want, you can even go into your waterline.
I like how kajals have evolved from being on the waterline to
Yes.
under the waterline.
I love
It's
that.
just-
I only wear it like
Yeah.
that, honestly.
So there was a time when our mothers would actually do the kajal and
then they would put a tika here.
Yeah.
And a tika here. But nazar nahi lage. So for me, this is all I need to do
bad.
she's got lipstick. Like that.
And how much time do we still have 2 minutes left? I think I gave you a very easy challenge.
You
Amrita.
did.
Next time,
You did.
Next time I'll put the clock to only 3.
No, but you know what you need to remember is if you have the right products, you don't need much time to get ready. Of course, in the summer, please carry a compact powder, carry a setting powder. It does a brilliant job in making sure that your skin doesn't remain sweaty, it doesn't look too oily, especially your T-zone. And also what products you apply before you start makeup. Your skin prep is really important. Like how we heard the doctor, the skin doctor tell us that it's so important to understand what your skin type is. So if you're someone who has oily skin, use gel moisturizers, serum moisturizers, because it's lighter, your makeup
Stay
will
away
stay
from
heavy
oils,
heavy
maybe even
creams.
clean products for that matter, because
Of
vegan have
course.
very they're
They're very
concentrated.
heavy. They're
Yeah,
very heavy.
yeah.
And what lands up happening is that the minute you step out in the heat, you're going to sweat and perspire all that. However beautiful you may look in the AC or in your
Namrata,
bathroom.
tell us, for
it's
that reason, if you're stepping out, skin
Right.
tint or foundation on the base?
when you're stepping out in the day, I would say a skin tint. If
But
you're
it doesn't
stepping out
melt
at
off,
night, I would say-
especially in Bombay or Delhi?
No, it doesn't. It's
Okay.
no. It depends on what you use underneath your skin to apply it. So like I said, your skin prep. So use a skin primer meant for your skin type. So use a gel based or a serum based if you are oily or combination. And if you have very dry skin, use a nice non-comedogenic hydrating moisturizer or primer for your skin. Once you do that, it actually adapts to what your skin type is, and it allows your makeup to last and stay much longer.
Right. Okay. So what have we learned today? Number one, use a sunscreen. That's your step number one. Number two, use a primer which suits your skin, and that you don't need more than 3 products, sometimes even 2, to go from a day look to a night look. So that was our tip. So guys, go out and try it out and let us know in your feedback what you felt about it. For now, thank you so much, Namrata. It was so lovely to start our morning bright and dewy, as she was saying. On that note, we're